she was tired of living the play-by-play. Not that fast. It's been months. Molly's face fell. Liza had broken the unspoken rule of not acknowledging how disconnected they'd become, how little they'd come to know about each other's daily lives. In junior high, they'd collaborated on a whole playlist's worth of alternate lyrics to their favorite pop songs, serenading their lunch table with "Give Me Just One Bite," Uno Nacho, and their still-loved stuffed animals with "Gund must have spent a little more time on you." In college, they'd held back hair over porcelain basins, mopped up tears with cheap liquor and late-night pizza, giggled their way through General Hospital sprawled on the shabby carpet of their living room. They'd gone on to help each other learn to, well, adult, even sharing a family data plan to make their cell phone bills manageable. That they would ever have to fill each other in on months of life at once, let alone reach for something to talk about, was unthinkable then. Laughable. Liza never should have moved to take the job here. Chicago still seemed out of reach, even though she was right in the middle of it. "Oh, God," Molly moaned. "It's really been that long. I'm officially the worst friend ever. Too busy competing for my Mother of the Year award in the frozen waffles for dinner category." That's the best category. Kids love that category. Being Mother of the Year isn't about doing things kids like. It's more of a competition in legal forms of torture, like those vegetable medleys that are all broccoli stalks and no florets. They both laughed, but Molly's didn't last long. She pulled a face. "Liza, I really am sorry." "Don't be. It's better to stick with the highlight reel anyway. Of which, brace yourself, there is currently none. I'm taking a break." "A break?" She looked so confused, Liza's fears were confirmed. This hiatus, by its very nature of being unthinkable, was long overdue. "From sex, you mean? Not from dating?" "From everything." She held up her empty hands as if to display proof. "I've got nothing. And by choice." Well, it was by choice if you didn't count the years of failed efforts preceding this period. "Don't you know my husband is away on business? This call is meant to take the place of the rom-coms I binge when he's gone. What now?" "Tough one." Liza leaned forward on the futon and drummed her fingers dramatically on the coffee table where her laptop sat in front of her. Thanks to her mother's overzealous gift of a whole box of flameless candles with a note gushing about how magical they were and how safe and what will they think of next, the open space of her loft glowed all around her. She loved how the simulated candlelight gave the exposed brick of the converted warehouse a nostalgic cafe type of feel, in place of the dingy disrepair that the renovation had never quite hidden from the daylight. She was about to suggest that the husband himself might be a suitable topic when Molly perked up. "I know. How's Max?" Liza couldn't help but smile. Maximizing his maxiness, as usual. How telling, in retrospect, that she'd met her closest friend here through indiscriminate dating, the very thing she'd pledged to do less of in order to seek more friends. If Liza were to leave Chicago, Max would be the only person to truly miss her. She supposed that this, too, was why she clung to what was left of her friendship with Molly. Because she might barely have it anymore, but she didn't have anything else close. At this rate, she might never again. "I still think he'd be a perfect match for you, if only—" Molly sighed. Kind of a big if only. Liza wasn't about to beguile Molly with colorful new Max tales, though she had a whole rainbow of them. She liked to keep them to herself, in part because she knew how well Molly remembered both the promise and disappointment of their sole date. They'd met over a slow, talkative dinner at the kind of middle-of-the-road restaurant that could be surprisingly satisfying under the right circumstances, and Liza had already been thinking ahead to what might come next when she excused herself to freshen up while waiting for the check. If the ladies' room line hadn't been so long she decided to skip it, she might not have returned to find Max in intimate conversation with their waiter. Their red-faced, furious, male waiter, who was demanding to know why her date had not...